Hi, we're going to look at writing equations. So what that means is that you're going to be seeing today words in just a sentence form, and it's going to be your job to write it in a mathematical statement. It can be pretty intimidating to go from words into a math problem, and one of the most common mistakes or errors is going from a word problem into just a formal math statement. I'm sure that most of you guys, whenever you see a word problem, kind of think, oh gosh, we've got to do a word problem. You'd much rather just have the math issue and deal with it. One thing that will really help you is if you can understand and know what the key words in word problems are. Now, these are just some of them. They are by all means not all of them. So you really have to read the problem and understand what it's asking, what it's saying, what it's displaying. So get a good representative in your head about what that looks like mathematically. A thing that will help you is by rereading the problem. Reading it twice, sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes you're going to be reading that same problem 5, 6, 7 times. So you need to keep reading until you understand what it's saying. Highlighting some key words or circling them is also something that helps. So keep these words in mind. You might want to print this if you can pause and print it, or look something up on the internet that gives you some keywords to know that what operation goes with which word. So let's a couple examples. They've been done for us, so let's just talk about them. Example A says to write this phrase as an algebraic expression. Now, an expression is the same thing as an equation, except it does not have an equal sign, so it's not going to have equal something. So the phrase says 3 less than twice p. So what you think of, most people would make the mistake, just get the pen working, most people would make this mistake and write it as it says and say, oh, 3 less than twice p. But that's not what it's saying. It's not saying 3 minus 2p. What it's saying is 3 less than 2p, meaning you start with 2p. You've got 2p. And I want 3 less than that. So it's actually going to be 2p minus 3. This is not correct. Remember, with subtraction, it's not commutative. Addition is commutative, meaning it doesn't matter if you do 2 plus 3 or 3 plus 2. But for subtraction, it does make a difference. So you've got to be real careful about those. Letter B says to write this sentence as an algebraic equation. This time it does have an equation. And here the equation says the sum of t and the quotient of 2 and 8 is 3.25. So what this is telling us to do is we've got the sum means us to add, of t, so I've got t, and I want to add something to t. What I'm adding to t is the quotient. Quotient tells us to divide. What are we dividing? Well, we're dividing 2 by 8. Another key word is the word is. Is means your equal sign, 3.2. So we can write it this way. You can also write it to divided by 8 plus t equals 3.2. Because addition is commutative. You can flip those around and that's just fine. All right, so let's look at some examples now. 5 times a number is 15. Here's some key words. Times, I know I'm multiplying, and is means my equal sign. So we've got 5 times a number. A number means I don't know what it is, so we're going to just make up a variable. 5 times a is 15. That's all we need to do there. Let's go right below. 5 more than 3 times a number is 29. I've got 5 more than. More than means to add. 3 times a number, there's my multiplication, is 29. So I know it's going to equal 29. And let's see, we want 5 more than, so 5 more than 3 times a number. So 3 times a number. We don't know what that number is. You can make up any variable you'd like there. So we've got 5 plus 3b equals 29. Remember, you can flip that 3b and the 5 around if you'd like. All right, let's go up to the top right. The sum of a number and 3 is 12. So let's go through our words. Sum tells me to add, of a number and 3 is 12. So the sum of a number, we don't know what that number is. Let's say C. Sum of a number and 3. So C plus 3 is 12. And the last one, a number decreased by, decrease tells us to subtract, is 11. So here, a number decreased by 8. We're starting with the number, letter D. Decreased by 8 is 11. With subtraction, be real cautious that you've got it in the right order. You might read it a couple of times. This time it says a number decreased by 8. So we're starting with the number and we want 8 less than that. So we have it correctly with D minus 8 equals 11. Okay, and we've got one real word problem here, and it is multiple choice. Anytime it's multiple choice and you've got a word problem like this, I typically try to work it out myself and then get the right answer based on what I get. So let's take a look here. It says, suppose an adult bottlenose dolphin weighs 800 pounds. This is, there's a key word, this is 735 pounds more than, there's another key word, a typical newborn bottlenose dolphin. Which equation can be used to find the weight of a typical newborn bottlenose dolphin? All right, so this is, meaning the 800 is what it equals. So it's equaling 800. 335 more. More is telling me I'm adding. So 735 plus, well, plus what? Plus the typical. We don't know what that is. So I'm just going to use the variable x. So I'm looking for 735 plus x equals 800. I don't see anything exactly like that, but letter B is equivalent to that because you can flip this around since it's addition. So we got our answer, letter B. Guys, go real slow on this. Circle those key words. Get a real understanding of what the problem is saying before you just jump in and try to write it. And be real cautious on your subtraction because it's going to be wrong if you have those numbers and letters flipped around. So be real cautious on subtraction and division. Good luck, you guys.